up with mini M&Ms. Someone at this meeting was like, M&Ms are small, but let's go smaller. Don't get me wrong, like I like the idea of being able to shrink things. Like, wouldn't it be great to shrink your boss? Haha, my boss is here. What about the government? Then their problems won't seem so big. Donuts, you can eat as many as you want, share them with your tiny boss. Terrorists, let's shrink the terrorists. Then they won't seem so scary. You can build them a little Lego city. They can blow it up. The tiny government can deal with that. The only thing I can shrink right now, though, are your expectations for the set, which I think I have done. So I'm gonna be starting my period soon. Want to know how I know? My phone told me. It sends me ominous text messages like, period day is coming. And I really wish that it could notify other people, like my partner, my coworkers, my parents, anyone that I have to pass by on the sidewalk. I wish that it would like automatically notify like stock tickers, news tickers, any kind of scrolling marquee. Is there like any other way of like indiscriminately informing a lot of people about an inane detail in your life? Yeah, you know the digital clocks and thermometers outside of banks. That would also be good. But the other way that I know that I'm starting my period is that I almost cried at work reading just the headline of this story that my friend sent me. Oldest man in Australia knits little sweaters. It's not even done. For cold penguins whose habitats have been destroyed because of oil spills. Yeah, so speaking of blood at work, I work at this office, and the gender balance it's a sausage fest. And you know, when I first started there, I was trying to make a really good first impression. And the second weekend, I have to get stitches on my forehead. And it's not even like a really cool story. I was coming back from lunch with my boss, and he's laughing. And I opened the front door of our building into my face. And there are these really heavy glass doors. I have a scar on my forehead to prove it. And yeah, a little science fact about the face is that it's full of blood, and if you get a cut in your forehead, it is like gushing out everywhere. And so just get this, like my boss, he has like wilderness training, I think, and he like goes into like dad mode, and he's got these like little shitty napkins, and he's like trying to wipe up all the blood everywhere, and I'm like trying to hold, the blood, I'm trying to put pressure to it or whatever, and I'm like apologizing, and I'm super, super embarrassed because it's like the second time we've met, and yeah, so this is what I think, this is what my male coworkers think it's like to work with a woman. Bloody wads of paper everywhere. So yeah, pretty good representative of women in the workplace. Yeah, so I've been in a relationship for a pretty long time. I'm with a really good guy. Like he's so good, my parents like him better than they like me. And he came with me to my sister's wedding a couple months ago in India. And after the wedding, him and I were driving around with my mom, trying to, tie up some loose ends, help her do some stuff. And she hates silence. She has to fill it up with her voice, no matter what. And very casually, she just offers my partner to, she offers him $30,000 to marry me. And we both are just like, what are you talking about? We're both just like, it's kind of weird, but funny. And she kicks it up now. She's like $40,000. And I'm like, Mom, are you offering him a dowry? Because that is illegal. And she looks at me. She's totally like high off of wedding planning, which I realized is like PCP for mothers. And she's like, hey, you're not gonna do any better. We gotta lock this shit down. Yeah, so I don't need my mother's money to get dudes, okay? Like, you know what's keeping my man around? sweet ass sex moves. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I watch a lot of movies though. And you may remember the animated classic from our childhoods, some of our childhoods maybe, 101 Dalmatians. Yeah, so do you remember the part of the movie, it's at the very beginning when she's giving birth to all the Dalmatian babies. And there's that little guy who they're not sure if like he's gonna make it. And she comes out and he's like wrapped in a little napkin. And the guy tries to resuscitate him by like doing this. Like he's just like petting him like this, you know, just like, oh my God, is he gonna make it? And like, it's just such a crazy moment because you're like, oh my God, like, is this little guy gonna die? And he just lets out, you know, he's like still, you know, he's just rubbing the napkin, trying to resuscitate him, and then finally he just lets out this little yawn, and he's alive. That's my move. That's how I think about wieners. I treat them like they are about to die, and I'm their last chance at survival. Basically, I think flaccid wieners look like they're dying. I'm Dayanita, Ramesh. Thank you so much.